Hi there, my name is Gordon McCrory, I'm the Happiness Guy, and this video is all about weight loss and helping you navigate through your day to get a great result. So what most people do when they're looking at weight loss is they're looking at it, for me, at the wrong level. They're thinking calories in, calories out, which of course makes some sense, but that is common sense. We know what we should do, we don't do it. So I wanted you to think of it like a journey, and think about, if you're going to go from point A to point B, then how you can make that journey easier and what kind of things keep coming up that drag you off track. So with that in mind, if I want to make my journey easier, like here's just a really kind of simple tip. If I wake up in the morning and I've had great sleep, then that's me feeling more positive. And if I feel more positive, then I'm far more likely to make this journey well. If I ignore that, I could potentially, at the first obstacle, fall down. For example, it's like I'm kind of tired, I'm lacking energy, I go to the coffee shop, I see kind of some kind of cake, and I think, right, okay, I'm going to have that as my breakfast. I know it might sound a bit nuts, it's not something that I kind of do, but yeah, if I don't have great sleep, then the chances of me going off track are much, much greater. So, assuming I've had great sleep, have a think about this. There's two sides to this, two questions. What can I do that makes it easier for me to stay on track or not drift too far off track? So, in other words, what are the positive things I can do that I know help me? And also, what are the negative things? And I would maybe term that my stuff. What's the stuff that keeps cropping up that scuppers my attempts to get to point B, that always is dragging me? I get to this particular point and I'm always away, kind of away off track. So that might be, I might think that I've eaten really well through the day, but come night time I always find myself kind of going home and really, really hungry and mindlessly eating. What's my stuff? Have you identified your stuff? Because if you're approaching it from a diet perspective or an exercise perspective, but you haven't dealt with the stuff that's causing you to do the wrong things, even though you know what you should be doing, then I would say that you're never going to end up here, or you're certainly never going to get there and stay there. You need to deal with your stuff. Now that might be emotional eating. It might be stress. It might be a lack of knowledge. You might not know what you should be eating. And although for me it's not difficult, and when I say for me it's not difficult, what I mean by that is I've gone full circle and it is now very, very simple. Whatever you would think is the best way to eat, in terms of it's plenty of fruit, it's plenty of veg, it's plenty of fresh produce, and it's minimal junk, it's minimal alcohol. It's really that simple in an appropriate quantity. If you're confused and don't know what to do, then you need to get clarity. Or when a choice comes along, you might make the wrong one. So, question is, what's your stuff? What is it? Is it working really long hours, hardly eating anything? Is it struggling with emotions and eating, or kind of getting to the end of the week and just thinking, man, that week was an absolute, and as a result of that I need to kind of completely unwind, and I'm going to go out, I'm going to get smashed, I'm going to eat all the wrong things because the week was horrible. In which case, if the week's always horrible and the weekend's always bad, you're never going to get from point A to point B and feel good. So what's your negative stuff? But also consider, what have you got going for you? What things seem to help? Now that might be a really positive friend that you can catch up with at lunchtime, and they just change your state, they change your mood, you feel better, and all of a sudden you've been nudged back. You were going off track, you've been nudged back on track. It might be a nutritious lunch that just reminds you it's important. It might be that, as I mentioned earlier, that you get some great sleep. It might be that you do some exercise, even if it's only a little, and again it just nudges you in the right direction. What are the things that will keep you on track, and put them in, and what are the things that drive you off, and deal with them. So instead of calories in, calories out, which I think we all kind of know, but it doesn't work, it's not a practical solution, because it's not the calories in, calories out knowledge that's largely a problem, it's not dealing with our stuff and not having enough positive, good habits in there. So have a think about it from that perspective and let me know your thoughts. I hope that's been useful.